Hey guys, what is up? It's JJ Tech here, back again for another video, and today we've got my review of the PowerA Enhanced Wired Controller. Now, as you guys know, for my last video, I did do a comparison between this guy and the Fusion controller. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure to watch that video before you actually come and watch this one. Now, you guys are probably wondering, why don't you do your review first and then why don't you do your comparison? Well, I wanted to spend a little bit more time with the controller so I can give you my actual really good impressions here and tell you the actual real deal. So yeah, that's why I wanted to spend a little bit more time with it and give you guys more information on the controller, and here it is. Alright guys, so first up, I'm going to tell you guys my dislikes and stuff I don't like about this controller. Alright guys, so the first dislike is the actual triggers, guys. Now this is something I didn't mention in my comparison video, but I didn't really go too much in depth with it because, it was a comparison video. And so the triggers on this guy, not that they're bad, it's just that when you press on them, it does feel like they're going to break, especially if you mash on them really hard. They just feel like they're going to break, and that's not something you want to feel, especially when you're doing some really hardcore gaming here. Alright, so the next dislike now is that it doesn't have the trigger stops in the back here. Now this is something I mentioned in the unboxing as well, and right when I took it out of the box, I was expecting it to have trigger stops because, this is supposedly the enhanced wired controller, and it really doesn't feel anything much better than the Fusion controller because, well, it's actually not upgrading anything, it's actually decreasing the features that the Fusion controller had, and this one actually has less. So that's one of them, which is one of my dislikes, in that it doesn't have trigger stops. As you can see, they're not present at all. No trigger stops, which might not matter to a lot. Yet again, for 25 bucks, what can you be expecting? But the fact that the Fusion controller had it and that was about the same price, I was kind of expecting this bad boy to have it. So a little let down on that. Now my last dislike has gotta be the grip in the back. The grip in the back. Now, I'm not even sure why I'm saying grip, because basically this controller has no grip. Yes, it's ridiculous. It has no grip whatsoever. You can see it's just a smooth, completely smooth back here. It's not, it has no rough texture in the back that you can hold on to while you're gaming. That can help you grip and, help you when you're gaming. This just doesn't have it. Now let's go to my dislikes. My likes. Now first like is the actual thumbsticks, guys. Even though these are now removable like I mentioned before, these are still really good. I actually feel like they're just a little bit better than the Fusion controller because these have more of a tactile click, and I just like, pressing on them. And the week or so that I've had it, I've been playing some games on it. Not playing, like I said, I'm not too much of a hardcore person, but I've been playing on it, and it just feels so good when you move it. It feels like really smooth. It doesn't feel like there's any choppiness or any lag when you're trying to play the game, and it's, what's it called? Input lag. That's what it's called. It doesn't feel like there's any input lag when you're actually using the thumbsticks. Now another like is the buttons. This is a really strong suit of the buttons. The buttons on this guy are just really good. Obviously not as high quality as the actual official Xbox One controllers, but this is really, really close. And no guys, I'm not lying. These 4 buttons, the A, B, X, Y buttons, feel really, really similar to the actual real deal. Now, obviously they're not as tactile. When you do click on them, it's kind of a quieter click compared to the actual ones. Once when you click on that, you can basically hear it all the time. Now, this is something that a lot of people might not like. I personally like the tactile click, but I just love these buttons, guys. Now, the next thing I do like about this controller has to be the D-pad. The D-pad, I did mention this before, and the D-pad on this doesn't feel like you're clicking on everything. Let's say, for example, you're pressing on the bottom, and it sort of feels like you're pressing everything else. No, this controller does not have that problem, guys. This is the complete opposite. This controller, when you press on the top, it feels like you're pressing on the top. Press on the bottom, it feels like you're pressing on the bottom. No delay there. Really, really good. This controller is overall a really good controller, guys. If you guys already have the Fusion controller, there really is no need to upgrade from this, like I said in my comparison video. But this guy, if you guys are looking for a really cheap alternative that, let's say you guys can't afford the actual thing, this is going to be really good. Now, no guys, it is not wireless. Just let me point that out. A lot of you are going to think it's wireless, but it's actually wired. It's detachable, so I actually have it out of the way for this video so it doesn't get in the way of, all that. So yeah, it is wired. Just something to note. So yeah, the point is, if you guys are looking for an alternative, buy it. Go right ahead. It is really good, especially for that kind of money. And I also throw up the link to this down below. My previous video of the comparison that I did with this and the Fusion controller. So don't forget to check that out. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like the video down below. Completely free, guys. We've been going up in subscribers, and I really tried to tell you guys that we can get to 100 subscribers by the end of this year. Now, I know it's almost the end of December, but we can still do it, guys. We can still do it. Thank you guys for watching the video, and peace.